This is Contractor Sense with Ruth King.
Welcome to Contractor Sense. Here you discover ideas, tactics, news, and information that matters to your contracting business and you. I'm your host, Ruth King. This episode is sponsored by Financially Fit Business. Get the business tool that turns your financial statements into impactful graphs that help you see your business trends to make sure that you're not heading for a cash flow, profitability, or productivity issue. Go to www.financiallyfit.business and get started today. Thank you for joining us. Here is how we will help your business and you. AI is being touted by some as the answer to everything. Thankfully, robots can't braze yet. But AI can help us with all those pesky past due receivables. And it is impacting our industry as it relates to accounts receivable. What should you have it do? What should it never do? My guest, George Kurdin, CEO and co-founder of Monk, answers these questions and more. George, welcome to Contractor Sense.
Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. So, we're dealing with basically business owners who a lot of times don't like dealing with past due invoices. They see their receivables getting to 60 and 90 days, and they see their receivable days going up, but they don't do anything about it. So this is something that you can handle, right?
Precisely. That's one of the main reasons why we started the company. If you work hard and render the service, you should be paid for the service. Today, it's your money.
Yeah, I would totally agree. But I'm not sure that some business owners, they agree with that, but some of their customers may not.
Right.
So anyway, all right, before we get into this, into that amount of depth, let's talk a little bit about what Monk does so that we can let everybody know the overview of Monk.
Right. Yes. We are monk.com, and we automate account receivables for businesses in the United States. We help you get paid faster. We deal with unpaid invoices. We deal with cash application, and then we give you a number of revenue reports on your business.
Okay, cool. So one of the best things about AI is it can deal with what I call the mundane, repetitive tasks. And I think you do that very well. So let me give you an example here. So suppose one of the listeners has, thousands of maintenance agreements, recurring revenue agreements that they get $16, $18, $20 a month, whatever. And AI can actually, and Monk can actually help them figure out the bank transaction is all of it, basically. And you can do that so that somebody internally doesn't have to do that. Did I make myself clear or did I not?
No, I think that's correct. We've developed a system and an algorithm that contains multiple parts, but the end result is we solve this problem, and this problem varies by domain, and it is time consuming for the business, and every single month it has to get solved. Otherwise you can't close your books. And so we do this for businesses so they can actually focus on growing revenue as opposed to matching deposits to invoices.
Yeah. And how many of your bookkeepers complain about monthly recurring billing because of this very fact? Let AI do it.
Significant. I mean, it's motivating to deliver these results for customers, and it's motivating to take the advances from all these frontier models and bring them to the rest of the economy to solve this.
Yeah, it's funny because the frontier, for those of you who don't know, there are frontier models who are, like ChatGPT and Claude and Gemini, and they all have their internal skunk work, so to speak, developing all this stuff. But it takes something like Monk to take what they've developed and make it useful for a small business.
Yeah, well said. Yeah, the frontier models is the technologies that are doing the research. And then there's a bunch of companies like us at what's called the application layer. We take the technology and we add custom logic to it, and we help, someone that does construction or roofing solve their specific problems. So we're applying frontier models to the actual real world businesses.
Yeah. And that's what's important, because they can develop all this stuff, forever. But if it doesn't go into somebody who is on the application side to create the model that will work for us.
Right. You got it.
Yeah. So I'm a contractor. I'm a small business owner. Which platforms does Monk work with? I mean, does it work with? I'll let you answer that question.
Yeah, we're business agnostic, or like in software, what we're called is sort of horizontal solutions. So, we work with everyone from roofing companies to construction companies to wholesalers. I'm not going to go through the list. Really permeate through the whole economy. The main reasons for why we would say no to you as a customer, just to be very direct, is if we can talk to your system. So, we work with customers that are NetSuite and Sage and Bullhorn, QuickBooks and Infocore. But the limiting factor really is, where is your data?
Okay, so if I remember correctly, zero doesn't count, correct?
Correct. Yeah. We can't help you if you're on zero. But we'd love to show you. My team and I are happy to show you if you want to book a demo at monk.com.
Yeah. Well, the interesting thing is, when we were talking offline, you can actually, at some point soon, deal with all of the what I call archaic accounting systems that some of you are still on.
Yeah. I don't want to get into the engineering piece of it. Yeah. But yeah, precisely. That's where we're going to. I mean, we really, really, really want to serve the rest of the economy. And we know that many folks are on these archaic systems, like you said.
Yeah. And it's funny because this industry is steeped in tradition, and change is not often welcomed. I'll leave it that way. And we are dragged kicking and screaming into the AI world and the AR world and everything along those lines. So it's good that, I want you all to just remember that this is something it's going to make your bookkeeper happy, because she doesn't have to deal with the $1,020 transactions anymore.
Yeah, I'd say it will make the bookkeeper happy, but above all, he's going to make the business owner happy, because a lot of the energy that's spent on this is energy that's not spent on actually sales and marketing, growing the business and rendering the service. And then you'll get more cash in the door today. That's really the main benefit.
Yeah, absolutely. So before we take a break, if somebody wants to reach out to you or reach out to Monk, how do they do that?
Please reach out to me at george@monk.com, or go browse our website, monk.com.
Yep. There's a button on the website that I've seen that says demo.
Precisely.
All right. Thanks for listening to Contractor Sense. We will be right back.
Imagine you had total freedom. You didn't have to worry about money. You didn't have to be a slave to your business. The words "I can't" are eliminated from your vocabulary. What if you could do what you want to do, whenever you want to do it? A financially fit business could give you that freedom. How? By knowing what your financial statements are telling you and taking action based on what they say. You can do this in less than 10 minutes a month, at an investment of less than taking your family out to dinner once a month. And if your financial statements are a mess, you can get help. Go to www.financiallyfit.business or click on the QR code below to get started today.
We're back. Thanks for listening to Contractor Sense. I'm speaking with George Kurdin, who is the co-founder and CEO of Monk. And they have an application process that allows you to, for all intents and purposes, streamline your AR using AI. How's that for an overview?
Yes. That's us.
Yep. All right. So let's talk about the thing that I mentioned in the intro. And it's like, nobody in this industry likes dealing with collections. There are a few humans out there who absolutely love it, but they're, few and far between. So how does Monk help with that side of things?
There are, as most problems, there's a few variables here. So let's break this down. There's the actual act of sending the invoices in a polite and timely manner. That's like part of the equation. The second is dealing with the exceptions that come after you send the invoice. So the first part is, we have a system and we use frontier models to make sure we never miss a date, and we write really polite, professional copy to make sure you get paid. People like to respond to people. They want me to respond to George, not invoice number 1025 that was just sent by some gnarly ERP. So that's one piece. The second piece is, okay, well, we sent the invoice, but then the customer comes back and has a question. They want something from you. And now you have to stop what you're doing and answer this. Otherwise, you don't get paid. We automate that as well with confidence. And if we can't use AI to do so, we'll escalate it to you. So together, those two parts get our customers roughly 40% increase in their cash on hand.
Yeah, and the thing is that if it's 31 days, the agent can make a friendly phone call.
Yeah.
And I think when you have your agents, it's not sounding like a robot. It's really somebody. Are they going to be able to tell the difference or not?
Yeah. I mean, we've spent an obscene amount of time tuning things to make sure that they are not robotic, but custom for your business. So like identity, tone, we have the concept of tone, professional, warm, polite, friendly. You can vary these concepts based on the size of the invoice, the size of the customer. And again, all we're doing is finessing all the research that was done by Google and the larger labs, and giving it to the economy.
Cool. All right. So from a perspective of AI and AR, what should AI never do with respect to AR? Where does the human actually come in? Or should the human come in?
I'd argue that the human should absolutely come in. I think that we need adults with judgment. No one knows the business better than the business owner. And so there are cases that require human oversight. We have workflows to escalate things. I'll make one example. If a customer does not want to pay for a product or a service because they feel like it was rendered incorrectly, maybe it was damaged, something else, I don't think, at least in early days of us working together, it's our job, no matter how much we believe in our technology, to answer this email or a phone call. We should really escalate this to the business owner, right?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
And so AI can kind of write a draft, maybe.
Precisely. Yeah. You can instruct us to write a draft. We can say to you some activation energy, and then you can go into our platform and say, yep, this looks good, fire this off. And this would actually feed us the knowledge back so we can improve in this instance over time. But, if it's an administrative clerical reason for why someone is not paying, probably good for us to handle it. But if it's something a lot of your business, maybe it's good for you to handle it. Maybe the customer says, hey, not only do I want to pay for this, but I'd love for you to charge me more or extend the contract. Yeah. Well, yeah, fine. I mean, maybe not, but I think like if it touches money or product, I'd make the case that we should probably let the business owner handle this.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I don't know any customer who said, I want to pay more. I've seen customers who say, I want to do another project or something like that.
Fair. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say like a business. Yeah. Good pushback. A business question.
Yeah. So, because a lot of times they will pay their bills, but there'll be a question on there as they pay it because they want to do something else or they saw something else. I mean, that's human.
Yeah.
That needs to be human, at least from my perspective. At least now, okay? I don't think AI is good enough. I don't think agents are good enough yet to basically take over, so to speak.
It would require training and finesse and everything as possible. We've seen incredible results with some of our customers that have been with us for a while. And there's also a ramp period, right? So like there's a band of activities and tasks that I would not trust AI with. And then over time, as we work together with the business, you just decrease that band.
Got it. So if somebody says, okay, I really want to try this out, or I really want to do this, does it take weeks? Does it take a month? I mean, what is the implementation and onboarding process? What does it look like?
It varies based on the business. We're extremely hands-on, and it can go anywhere from a day to roughly 2 weeks. And we obsess over cutting this time down. We're quite selective and only onboard 1 to 3 customers a week. But my estimate would be anywhere from 1 day to 3 weeks. Oh, 2 weeks,
right.
forgive me. Yeah.
So is it the owner? Is it the bookkeeper who gets involved? Is it both?
It depends on the business. We start with the owner, and then it's often the bookkeeper. But typically we start with the owner as someone on the owner's finance side.
Okay. So yeah, they have to bless it. And then bookkeeper, it's funny because I think a lot of times the owners don't know how much time bookkeeping does in closing the month and making sure that the statements are balanced and all that kind of fun stuff, that this would just make so much faster.
Yeah. Agreed.
Very good. All right, final thoughts.
Final thoughts. I think that we are right now in probably the largest technological shift of this century, possibly humanity. And so I know it sounds dramatic, but I really believe so. Spending a lot of time with technology. And so I think at the very minimum, it is worth experimenting with AI and seeing how you can use it to drive your business forward. I'm very, very biased because I spent a lot of time on this. This is my company, but I think it's at the very minimum worth experimenting to see how you could move your business forward with AI.
Agreed. All right, George, give us the website again one last time, please.
Monk.com, monk.com.
Very good. And it's george@monk.com, correct?
You got it. Yes.
All right, George, thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you so much.
And thanks to all of you for joining us. Choose one thing that you discovered and implement it in your business. Use ideas, tactics, and strategies to help you make more money, have more free time, and give back. If you like today's program, spread the word. Please review this podcast on any device you're listening to it on. Help a fellow contractor make more money too. For comments or questions, call me at 770-729-0258 or email Ruth King at hvacchannel.tv. Thanks for listening. Have a great and profitable day.